So it's been a while since I reviewed a case from Antec, but this here now, this is what I remember Antec being from the old days. This is the Performance 1 FT case and this is the Antec going back to its roots. Gorgeous front panel with a lot of innovations inside, great set of included fans and quality of the case also leveled up. So let's check it out. Looking for affordable Windows or Office keys? Look no further, I got you covered. Head over to scdkey.com, pick your Windows edition, use my discount code LE25 to get a 25% on any Windows or Office products. Once you complete your order, after a few seconds you will receive your code. In Windows, go to Settings, there should be an Activate Windows prompt at the bottom. Click that, enter your code and wait for Windows to finish activation. To check the activation status, use the command prompt with the command slmgr.vbs/xpr and you should receive a notification that the machine is permanently activated. Once again, use code LE25 at scdkey.com. Since you can't miss the beautiful angled mesh front, let's start from here. It has these angled fins that kind of route the air and it's tastefully done, I might add. It has a fine mesh behind these fins, which also acts as a dust filter while allowing plenty of air to pass through with a subtle Antec logo on the side. It's pretty easy to remove it, just pull it gently and it just goes off as it is held by magnets. You can see the fine mesh is stretching across the whole panel and this way you can clean it anytime you like, want or need to. Behind the panel, Antec included three 140mm fans and these are not some crappy fans, these are the Storm T3 fans and they are very good. 140mm in size, 30mm deep, increased thickness is good for better, more focused airflow and better pressure as well. Also it makes it less audible. These fans are rated for 600 up to 1500 RPM and they are all PWM controlled. Complete specs will be on the screen for you guys. And of course, you guessed it, three 140mm fans here or three 120mm fans can be mounted in the front because we have rails that support both of the fan sizes here in the front. But this also means that you can mount 420 radiators here as well, which you totally can. Almost forgot, full-length dust filter at the bottom, which is removable from the front side for super easy cleaning. And now let's move to the inside, but before we can get in there, the tempered glass side panel needs to be removed. This is 4mm thick glass, really heavy, and it's secured by a thumb screw at the back. Oh, almost forgot, accessory box. Here you will get a manual plastic box with screws, which is always nice, some Velcro straps and zip ties as well. So the interior is vast and super organized with maximum board support, which is E80X. We have rubber grommets on the side where all major cables go, and this portion is slightly angled as well to allow more cables behind it, but also to better exit on this side where it matters the most. Bottom holes are also with rubber grommets, while the upper ones are angled and without rubber grommets. The PSU shroud is perforated and it can also support mounting of three 120mm fans on it as well. And there is a subtle Antec logo on the side of the case as well. The top of the case is completely removable, just pull it up as it's held by pegs here. There is a fine mesh magnetic dust filter here. As you all know, I am not a huge fan of these and they are actually not needed at all on top of the case. But if we remove these two screws here, the complete top of the case goes out. Similar approach as Fractal has with the Define series. So the top fan bracket is now exposed and you can mount up to three 140mm fans here, but not 420 radiators, as there are clearance issues with front fans, which leaves you with 360 radiators support up top. Not a bad thing, but removing the bracket makes cable management for the top part of the board a breeze and also installation of AIOs. So the rear fan is also the Storm T3, but this one is 120mm in size, it's also 30mm thick and this one has the sliding rails which allows it to be moved up or down if needed. The back side of the case has the usual layout, IO shield opening, you can see the rails for the fans, no vertical GPU support and it has 8 PCI slots. The PSU is installed from the back of the case with an included bracket. So okay, here is where things go from interesting to amazing. The right side panel is also a tempered glass panel, but everything here looks super tidy. 3 SSD caddies here, a large motherboard cutout for easy CPU fan or AIO pump installation, cable ties on the right for the PSU cable. Finally, they are paying attention to these little details. Also see these 01 and 02 covers, you can remove them. There are two screws here, take these off and a thumb screw at the top and off 01 panel goes. Of course, this reveals the cables, which are actually organized pretty well, and there are Velcro straps which keeps them in place. The panel 02 goes out with any issues now, revealing the inner PSU chamber. Here we have only one HDD cage which supports either one 3.5 or one 2.5 drive. There is also another SSD caddy on top of the HDD cage. The whole cage can be also removed or repositioned closer or further from the front of the case. On the bottom of the cage there are actually isolation rubber grommets to prevent any vibration if you decide to use 3.5-inch spinning hard drives. The PSU length support is 220mm and larger if you remove the cage completely, which also allows you to hide the cable mess better. Not that it's needed to be removed, since you can hide the cables with the HD drive cage, in place as well. The front I/O panel is located on the top right side, which is totally okay. We have a large power button, combo headphone and mic jack, two USB 3.0 ports, actually 3.2 ports, Type-C port and a button, but which button is it? Something totally cool. Behind this glossy plastic of the front cover we have an LCD panel which can display either CPU or GPU temperature, and that button is used to cycle between the two. We do not see this often and it's such a nice feature. Sadly, it is located up top, so if you have your case on the desk, which is the only proper way, you need to stand up to see it. But if you keep your case on the floor, the unholy way, the panel is super easy to see and read. If you wish to use this panel, you need to have one USB 2.0 free header on your motherboard, and you need to install the Antec Unity software, which reads and monitors your temperatures and displays them on this LCD panel. So building in this case is super easy, since it's large with dimensions of 522 by 230 by 522mm, and it supports up to 175 CPU coolers, heat sinks to be installed here, and a monstrous 400mm GPUs. So this means you can install pretty beefy GPUs here without worrying will it fit. The PCI brackets are fully removable, by the way, and there are no middle parts, middle columns present. So if you want to mount GPUs vertically with your optional vertical mount kit, this is the way how to do it. And the GPU won't be close to the glass and will also have a lot of fresh air coming from the bottom fans, since you can lift a complete vertical kit from the floor, since there is room for that. Big pro for this goes to Antec. The other pros are of course the temperatures. Core i9-12900K used here with RTX 3070, and all that with only 240mm AIO by Arctic. Absolutely zero issues keeping everything cool. While gaming and doing mid to heavy workloads, the CPU was not going past 55 degrees, considering I used 240 AIO. This is actually great, so I guess that front fans supply a lot of fresh air to the interior of the case. The GPU was also doing great thanks to the both front and bottom fans, never going above 60 degrees while gaming. So all in all, this is one great airflow case, and it achieves this with ease and not much noise. But if you're wondering about the price of this case, it's around $155 to be precise, but for that amount of money you are getting a monster of a case with even more monstrous fans and capabilities. So far I have found only one con for it, having no fan hub. That would have been a great addition, since it has a lot of space for it, but what Antec did here with this case, it's a step in a great direction for them. I really loved Antec back in the day when I had the famous 900 case, and this is it. This is that great feeling of Antec moving forward and creating great cases once again. I am really looking forward to seeing what they are going to bring us next, and I also highly recommend this case if you value performance above RGB, since it has zero RGB. Thanks goes to Antec for sending the case, and also to you guys for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel, it really helps a lot. Like and share the video, and I'll see you in the next one.